Right then guys, I've got a story to tell. It's a story about hot water, cooling and burst pipes. As some of you may know, if you follow my Instagram account, Pamo Griffiths, I had a small coolant problem, and that coolant problem involved a whopping great leak, a burst pipe and a bit of misery. Now, to give you a little bit of detail behind what was happening, I went to Galway recently for a wedding. Absolutely bloody beautiful place, really nice wedding. We went out there on a Thursday night, we came back on a Sunday morning. We decided in our infinite wisdom to get a ferry back from Dublin at about 8:10 in the morning, so we had to leave Galway a couple hours before that with plenty of time to get to the ferry terminal an hour before we left. Trip started fine, 4:30 in the morning, Sunday morning in Galway on the weekend that the Pope was visiting. The weather wasn't very nice, it was pissing with rain, it was pitch dark, and the first 5 minutes of the journey went fine. Got on the motorway to leave Galway, got 4 kilometres out of Galway, and my fine lady Natalie turned around to me and says, "No heat coming out the vents." Immediately, the dawning realisation hit me that I might have a problem. Any of you that know cars will know that usually if there's no heat coming out your vents, it tends to be a bad sign. It means things are not circulating around the engine properly. You're not getting water into the heater matrix inside the car. Bada boom, bada bing, we might have problems. Promptly, seconds after she said that, temperature needle starts rising. Now, to give you a bit of an idea guys, I have a pathological fear of overheating in cars. It's one of the things that I have always had paranoia about. I'm a temperature needle watcher, and it's something that I know can be catastrophic to engines, especially M52 engines, aluminium block, aluminium head. They don't like overheating. If you let them overheat, they are going to give you grief. At best, you're going to have a problem. At worst, you're going to have a cracked head and you need a new engine. See you later, pal. So I promptly pull over to the side of the road. I open up the bonnet to be greeted by a lot of leaking water. And when the radiator pipes were squeezed, masses and masses of steam coming out the back of the engine. Fast forward a bit of time, a load more grief. Luckily, although I am pretty handy with my cars, we do have AA cover. That's thanks to Natalie, I take no credit for that. Her wise choice in buying that cover allowed us to get towed off the motorway back to where we started, and by some strange sort of, I don't know, karma thing that was going on, I happened to have all the tools I needed in the back of the car to be able to take the intake manifold off, which is what I had to do. Pull the car into a car park, pull the intake manifold off, and lo and behold, we find the pipe that connects the back of the cylinder head to the heater matrix pipework, the heater matrix valve, had completely taken a shit. There was about an inch long split in it, and it was knackered. So we swapped out a few things, and I managed to do a bit of a loop in the system, which I'll show you in a minute. We got it filled back up with water. I drove it very gingerly over to Dublin. It seemed fine. We had no heaters obviously, but we dealt with that with a sock, wiping the mist off the windscreen. Yeah, we got the ferry back from Dublin over to Holyhead in the north of Wales, and I drove the whole way back to the north of Wales with a loop cooling system that worked fine. You know, it did no problem at all, although it wasn't done in the best way, but it got me home. Preventative maintenance would have probably been a wise move. Now, I will say something here. I'll say, from my experience of the internet, I think if there's any Americans watching, you guys are way better at this than we are. There's definitely a culture of that'll do kind of ethos here in the UK, and I'm critical of myself. Sometimes I've done that. With cooling pipes, it won't do, and I'm going to show you why in a few moments, where the warning signs were and what I should have paid attention to and what I should have done before I actually went out to Galway, and how I could have stopped this from happening. I suppose let's start first of all by showing you the coolant pipe that failed. Now I've got all the coolant pipes down here in front of me because I've now changed them. We'll come to that in a moment. This was the offending pipe, and this is the pipe that I think goes that way around, I believe, like that, from the cylinder head on this side to the heater valve on this side. Now I've cut off the part that had actually burst, and in my stupidity in Ireland I threw it away. I've still got enough of the pipe here to show you what I had a problem with. If you look very carefully here, you can see along this line there's complete delamination of the pipe. I can actually peel the pipe apart and get my finger in the two halves and kind of show you there and get the light on that. So yes, this pipe had basically given up the ghost. It had delaminated, water had got in between the two layers, and it was only a matter of time before that found the weakest point and popped a ruddy great hole in it. And when I mean ruddy great hole, I mean an inch long, literally this long of a split in the pipe, and all the coolant had burst and come out. Now if you look at all of these pipes, these are all my old rubber pipes from BMW, they all have ballooning at the ends of them, where the pipes are beginning to delaminate inside. The swelling of the heat and cooling over the years has caused stress on the pipes, and you know, they're not in good nick. This is what I ignored, because in my honest experience, I've had loads of this in cars over the years, and it's never ever caused me a problem before. You know, I've never ever seen a coolant pipe burst in the way that it did when we were in Ireland. All of these pipes feel, you know, they're reasonably soft, but they're not cracking, they're not making any strange noises, they're not really badly frayed. They're a little bit soft, yes, but no more than you would have thought unusually. The delamination problem is, it's a game changer. I've gone and I've bought silicone hoses for the entire engine bay, top hose, bottom hose, all three pipes at the back there, cross pipe, side pipe from the bottom of the expansion tank, and this is actually a bit of a custom one. This pipe here would normally feed your throttle body in a loop and then loop back into the block here. So this part here comes straight out the head, up to the throttle body, out the throttle body and back in again. I actually delete the throttle body cooling or warming because I don't live in a cold environment where I'm ever going to get icing in the throttle body, so there's no point in me having that, and it makes working with intake manifold and stuff much easier. Sometimes these problems are a blessing in disguise. Even though I was sat at the side of the motorway in the pissing wet rain, 12 degrees Celsius on a Sunday morning in Ireland, thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do if I can't get the car home? With Natalie in the car, with another one of our friends in the car, Cedric. We managed to sort it, we got home, we're safe, we're sound, and the car is here. I say sometimes these things are a blessing in disguise. They're enough to give me a kick up the arse to actually do something about it. So, like I said, we've gone and we've bought some silicone hoses. Now, we've not only done that, whilst we're in here fiddling around with all the cooling system, I've put in, I don't know if you can make that out in there, aluminium thermostat housing. We've resealed and refurbished the coolant pipe connector, which sits right at the back. So yeah, right back here at the rear end of the engine block, we've got a little aluminium sort of pipe connection. I have resealed that. I've put in my old water pump from my 323 that I bought when I got the 323, so it's only a year old. That one has got a metal impeller, unlike the plastic one that people talk about that cracks that was in my 328. There's your thermostat housing from the 328, nasty plastic shit with a seal that I discovered was basically dead, so that needed to be done anyway. This is a little pipe that I was talking about, the connection pipe. Got a new gasket on that with some Flex Pro paper. Should have listened to what the car was trying to tell me when I was looking at these coolant pipes, and I should have sorted out before. Long story short, guys, get your cooling sorted, man. You know, E36s really, if they're bled properly and the cooling system's looked up to date, they will not overheat. They're good cars like that. It's a myth that they're known for being a real problem to bleed. If you bleed it properly according to the Bentley manual, you shouldn't really have a problem. I mean, I did this at the side of the road. I couldn't jack the front end up like I used to have to worry about. It was fine, you know, it did everything it was needing to do. We got home, we're back here, we're safe, we're sound. We got some new shit on the car. Hopefully this will never happen again. But heed my warning, folks. Get out there, check your coolant pipes. I know it might be a ball ache, whip the intake manifold off, have a good feel of all those pipes at the back, make sure they're not soft, make sure they're not ballooning out. If they are, get them the hell out of there and change them. For the sake of a few quid, you can get some nice new pipes. Now, I will actually try and link up some of the pipes that I've got. There's not very many kits that I could find for the E36. I found one in Australia that was a ludicrous amount of money that seemed to have too many pipes in it. I found another one in China. I love China, thank you very much, which was a lot cheaper. I paid about £85 I think for 5 coolant pipes. And I also came across a Subaru Impreza kit, which was about £35, that gave me a pipe that did the job for the one in the middle here at the top, and it also gave me this pipe here. As I said, I'll try and link up some links in the description of the video so that you can see what I bought. Apart from that, happy motoring, no more coolant problems.